At first, I wasn't certain how I would write for the gift of Maud Pie, or if I even should. At first glance, the lesson seemed so basic and straightforward through the episode that I didn't think there was anything of value I could add. Upon reaching out for help, I was given a few suggestions, such as rereading and comparing the episode's source material, relaying a relevant personal experience, or relating the episode to Hearthbreakers, but those methods didn't work. When I tried to convey the lesson through the 1905 short story Gift of the Magi, I found that other analysts had already done it better. In short, there was a theme of permanent sacrifice latent within the Gift of the Magi that was absent within the Gift of Maud Pie, so there was nothing to go on there. Attempting to relate this to Hearthbreakers only left me reiterating things I had said before. Pondering upon personal experiences which, if related to this event, left me with nothing to draw from. But that made me think of something else. Why do I lack experience here? The conclusion that I came to is that the type of generosity displayed in this episode by Pinky and Maud, despite being a very basic lesson, is a rare practice in reality, which is a fact that we tend to take for granted. Then, it made sense. True generosity comes through sacrifice that many people don't demonstrate or even want to consider. It's not about simply giving. It's about giving until it hurts, for the sole purpose of helping others or expressing your love for them. Just like how Pinky sold her most prized possession in hopes of making her sister happy. She made herself an example of how we should value the happiness of loved ones. That the pain of giving a piece of ourselves in exchange for their happiness becomes more than a fair trade. But little did Pinky know that at the time of the trade, Maud already understood this, and that she would be unable to accept Pinky causing herself that kind of pain for her own sake. Although we'll never know exactly how moved Maud was by Pinky's gift, we can see through her resolution to reclaim Pinky's canon that she did not believe it was worth Pinky missing a part of herself. This type of generosity applies on a variety of scales, from the small scale of Rarity sacrificing her time to help Pinky, to the large scale of Pinky sacrificing her canon. We must all strive to be generous in the sense of seeking out friends who are in need, and giving them our time or even a piece of ourselves in hopes of making your loved ones happy. Further than simply helping a friend in need is the idea of being generous through your actions to show someone how much you care for them. It is extremely difficult for people to know exactly how much you care about them without them being shown. Without your loved ones knowing how much you care in their hearts just as much as their minds, it is extremely difficult for them to return that feeling. This applies to both the small and large scales as well. If you do not demonstrate how you feel or have it reciprocated, then it will feel like an empty effort. This will start a cycle of taking each other for granted and negligence within whatever kind of relationship it is. The best case scenario is that it will feel like an incomplete or empty relationship, which is a terrible feeling in itself. The worst case scenario will be that when the time inevitably comes that generosity and support of others is needed for yourself, it will not be there, and you will be left alone with nothing. This is where the lesson can tie into what we learned through Hearthbreakers. The Pie family's hearthwarming tradition involved searching for each other's gifts, and although they rarely find them, it doesn't matter, because the holiday is about dedicating time to remind themselves why family is important, and to show their deep-seated love for each other. Nothing material, which will eventually deteriorate, will ever be worth showing others that you care about them and making them happy, which will last as long as we choose to start and perpetuate that cycle. The gift is perfect as long as it demonstrates this sentiment, and as long as we understand this while receiving that generosity from others. Pinky and Maud cared about each other enough to make painful sacrifices to see the other happy. If we take the time to recognize those in our lives who are already providing that kind of love, then we can do the same. And that's the moral of the story.